Hello guys, Crispy here, welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm going to be testing a GeForce GTX 682GB in Cyberpunk 2077. This one is the Asus DirectCU 2 version of the card. We are running it with the latest Nvidia drivers and I'm not manually overclocking it. You can see all of its specs right here in Tech Power-Up's GPU Z. Again, it's the 2GB GDDR5 version of it. There's also a 4GB model, and over on the left, we're pairing it with a Ryzen 5 3600X and 32GB of DDR4 3200 MHz in dual channel CL14. Let's get into it, shall we? Alright, let's go over the settings first. I'm starting at 1080p resolution using the lowest settings possible right here without any upscaling. And this is not the low preset, it's lower than that. It's quite a lot lower actually, because right now the low preset has a lot of things on medium. So this is it, guys. We're getting below 30 frames per second to start this off. Kind of expected, you know. This is a 2012 GPU running a 2020 game that was very, very intensive back when it released, although these days you can consider Cyberpunk. I'm sorry. Goodbye, Bob. Oh, he's not dead. He's not dead. We killed somebody else, guys. Wait a second. Wait a second. What was he saying? What was he saying? Goodbye, Bob. I said, come on. Goodbye, Bob. Please. Oh my God, dude. Come on! Okay, finally he died. Good stuff. Anyway, as I was saying, this game when it came out was regarded as very terribly optimized, you know. Like, it ran really, really poorly on pretty much everything out there at the moment. But now, since newer games have been getting more and more intensive and more terribly optimized, and they also look worse than this one does, you can consider Cyberpunk a well-optimized title. But yeah, guys, with 26 FPS on the average and 1% lows, this is completely unplayable. Let's try to enable some FSR2 on quality. It's a black screen. We still get the FPS, the theoretical FPS of FSR2 enabled. I can see a little bit of fire over there, interestingly. Oh boy. So it would actually be getting 30 plus frames per second if it could display an image, but the problem is FSR 2.1 doesn't work on Kepler GPUs. And this is a big shame, because when the game released there was the option to enable FSR 1.0, then they replaced it with FSR 2.1. And with FSR 1.0, we could be playing properly with a GTX 680 at 1080p native resolution. Well, native with like quality FSR, make it look better than lowering the actual resolution, you know. But now we can't do that. Although we can actually enable XeSS. I think, yeah, it just crashes with XeSS. Oh my God, I shouldn't have done this. I will probably need to change the graphics card to to remove XeSS. Oh no, it's actually working. Good! How did I get here? What the hell? Oh boy, it's almost exploding! Come on! Yeah, XeSS, if you didn't know, with these GPUs that don't have the needed hardware to run it, it gets way lower FPS. Even though we're using quality XeSS and it's rendering the game at 720p and upscaling to 1080p, yeah, it's in the single digits, guys. It's absolutely terrible of an experience here. Alright, so the only thing that we can do is lower the resolution itself, unfortunately, since the upscalers don't really work. We could try... No, there's not even the option for DRS. Yeah, DRS only works with the upscalers, so yeah. This is it, guys. Lowest settings, 900p resolution now. Can it get 30 plus? Well, I guess while walking around, it actually can. Let's start counting our FPS, but driving around is way more intensive than walking, so yeah, there we go. As soon as you hop into a car, it gets way lower FPS, like 5 or so. Oh boy, no, it still drops. It still drops into the cinematic frame rate, so, you know, 24, 25 frames per second. Oh boy, goodbye, Bob. Oh, come on, he says. He's tired of this. But I'm not. I will keep killing Bob every chance I get, okay? Anyway, yeah, this is not doable. Come on, damn it. Interestingly, the roundabout isn't really the most intensive thing. Previously, in other GPUs it was. But here with the 680, it seems like in that tunnel area before we get to the roundabout is where it drops the most. Maybe here as well. Whoop, 25. God. Why do you need to do that? Come on, I am here benchmarking the game. and getting 20-something FPS. It's already difficult enough to drive around like this, and you make it harder. Why? Just because I killed Bob. I'm doing humanity a favor by killing Bob. Alright, over in this area we can get 30 plus, and if I go in this direction instead of the other one over there, it gets way less intensive. Okay, just a little bit, we'll see that. 32, over here, yep, 33, 34, 35, 36. It's better, it's definitely better in this area of the map. 37 right there, but of course if you go into the actual city, and you will spend a lot of time in there, of course, it's gonna be crappy. Are those the police? What? Yes, it's the police. It didn't look like a police car. Maybe because it's all red over here for some reason. Like, why are the lights red right there? It's weird. Maybe I have too much saturation on this monitor. I don't know. Alright, so the 900p is still not the experience that we're looking for. I'm gonna go ahead, turn it down to 720. Alright, lowest settings, 720p resolution. Can the old 680 achieve 30 plus FPS and make it playable here in Cyberpunk? I think it can, because I tested this GPU a few months, almost a year ago actually. Time flies, guys. Holy. But yeah, it was playable at 720p lowest settings, and it shows right here, 38 frames per second on average right now. No stuttering. That's the most impressive thing compared to the latest titles. You know, they all stutter. Oh boy. Either for traversal stuttering or just the shader compilation stuttering, but they all stutter, and this one doesn't. It has a little bit of a stutter sometimes when it's auto-saving, but that's about it. It's not a big deal. It's very, very stable in that regard, even on such old hardware, you know? And this is version 2.12, I believe, right now, the latest Cyberpunk version. Goodbye, Bob! Okay, that was a nice Bob kill right there. This car is great. It has a lot of armor around it. Yes, much better than that one over there. And well, around the roundabout, you can see that it's not even dipping into the 20s. 1% lows are at 29, but it's just because of some inconsistency, I guess, in the frame time, which is not noticeable. It's not stuttering, okay? It's very, very smooth in that regard. So yeah, although I wish they didn't remove FSR 1 from the game to make these Kepler GPUs a bit more relevant, you know, and a bit more playable in this title without losing much quality, you can still play Cyberpunk 2077 on a GTX 680. It performs kind of like a GTX 1050 actually, from what I remember in that video, but with the 1050 of course you can utilize FSR 2.1 on quality at 1080p and make it run pretty much at like 30 FPS, I believe. I don't remember it. I have a video on it, of course, if you want to search for it in the channel. But yeah, that's about it for this one. Of course, if you're thinking of buying a GTX 680 and playing Cyberpunk with it, I wouldn't recommend it because it consumes quite a bit of power. It's an 80 series card, although it consumes way lower than other 80 series GPUs, right? It's sitting at 130-ish watts. It's a 150 watt GPU, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it consumes way too much for the performance it gets, and that's a real shame. But of course, that's what you get with very, very old GPUs like this one. You know what? Let's just try 4K one more time. Oh boy! Single digits at 4K resolution. Look at that. 6 frames per second. At least it's not crashing right now. Wow. Thanks very much for watching this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. As always, love you all. Bye-bye.